I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again. I need to mix it up a little. I feel like I'm in a rut. The hamster wheel metaphor really hits home for me right now. Click, type, sign, repeat. Sounds monotonous, repetitive, like a day in the life of a typical physician these days. What if I told you the key to breaking through the boredom and monotony was actually to do more? But I thought we just spent 2 episodes talking about the importance of margin, principles, doing less. Stick around to hear how I believe advancing your wellness is best achieved through this pursuit of more. Welcome to the MedEdWell Podcast, where physicians get empowered to take the next step in their wellness, personally, professionally, and financially. I'm your host, Dr. Ryan Stegink, a practicing general pediatrician and online entrepreneur. Thanks for joining me here again on the MedEdWell Podcast. We're already to episode 6. Woohoo! We are celebrating these milestones all along the way. I am so excited you are joining me today. Please know that this has been quite the journey, and I've already learned a lot about myself in the process of making this podcast. I'm so thankful to each of you for tuning in. Please take a moment and share this episode with a colleague or friend today, and let me know what you think about the episodes thus far. Send me a message on Instagram. I'm planning to bring the power of collaboration to the MedEdWell podcast as well, with some guest interviews in the future, hearing more about the wellness journey of other physicians. We'll explore what things were helpful in the process for them, where they are, where they hope to go, and tips for you to help you take the next step forward in your wellness. Before we get into the rest of today's episode, let's hear from today's sponsor. Getting a financial education seems daunting until you realize that you did way harder things in medical training. The White Coat Investor has been promoting financial literacy for doctors since 2011 and has great courses to help you make a financial plan, evaluate financial advice, and pursue your wellness. CME is included on some of the courses, making them a perfect fit for those unused professional funds. I have personally taken the Fire Your Financial Advisor course and found it super valuable in my own financial education. I encourage you to visit the link in the show notes and consider signing up for a White Coat Investor course today. And now, back to today's show. So you may be wondering, why did I contradict myself? Doing more? That sounds like a terrible idea. Why? There is already so much to do. I feel overwhelmed. I hear you. I've been there, no margin in my time, working harder, running on that hamster wheel of achievement. I have felt the dopamine with checking the boxes, watching the metrics, signing the visits. And yet more was an answer for me. Before you tune out, let's get to the bottom of what I'm saying and what I'm not, because it may not be what you think. I heard the saying growing up, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. I certainly worked hard growing up, but I had outside interests as well. I played soccer, piano, saxophone, volunteered, and spent time with my family. I also briefly tried skateboarding around 5th or 6th grade, since my best friend at the time was doing it. His dad was a contractor and built a small ramp in the driveway. It was cool for a bit. However, after attempting to drop in from a real ramp at the skate park my friend took me to, I'm not sure if my joints or my ego were more bruised from my falls. I quickly saw my future was not in skateboarding and promptly gave it up. I was a good student all through school, working hard and blessed to have good teachers, starting with my mom. I learned lots going to museums around town and going to the library, reading lots of books. Even in high school, my piano teacher was gracious when I didn't always practice before my lessons. He said many kids that are doing music are also doing other things well. It helped keep me playing, which I greatly appreciate looking back. As a result, I can now play chord charts in a band setting because of the training. These other activities I pursued made me a more well-rounded person. I went to college and picked a major. Even so, I was part of the men's choir at my college and obtained a liberal arts education. But then came medical school, more focused, more intense, residency, and now an attending. All specialized and focused, ready to do what I trained for. 24 years of school and training combined. And yet, the next thing becomes an achievement treadmill if your mindset and priorities are not in the right place. The next paper, the next grant, the next project, the next promotion, achieving partner, achieving tenure. Where is this all going? These things are not wrong in and of themselves, but they need to be seen in the context of you as a well-rounded person. It comes back to priorities. What's important to you? Do you have other interests outside of medicine? Family, friends, kids, sports, music. The list could go on, but a well-rounded person is able to pursue their balance and wellness in a way that connects them to something outside of themselves, outside of their main gig in medicine. This means you taking time to meet up with friends is not only healthy for your mental health, these friends also provide a good outside perspective, knowing you and being able to say, dude, you are pushing so hard, maybe you need to actually take that vacation you keep talking about rather than just complaining about how many shifts you are on this month again. So those things you did before medical school, hobbies you dabbled in during training, go ahead, pick it up again. As of this recording, I have played more piano in the last year or so than the previous 5. It has been fun, and I've had opportunities to share that music with others and make new friends. And this isn't just for the attendings here. Even in med school or residency, making that margin with your time can allow you to do some of these things. Maybe you want to try a new hobby. Go for it. Maybe it's a creative outlet or something else you enjoy outside of medicine. This will help make you a better physician by helping you use your brain in a different way, take off some stress, and help you relate to other people. It could be that you enjoy triathlons, painting, music, volunteering, or something else. It may take planning, saving up time and money. For those of you following along, this is part of the why behind margin in time and money, the focus of episodes 4 and 5, respectively. Whatever it is, plan for it, and go do it. Time with family and friends, some of these outside activities, these are all part of my wellness plan. And if doing more with hobbies and things outside of medicine wasn't enough for you overachievers out there, yes, I'm talking to myself as much as to you, I'm going to ask you to do even more than that, to do more in your professional life as well. Back in episode 1, I shared my journey into burnout. Going. Notes, click, type. You know the feeling. And yet part of my road to recovery was through taking 2 steps back and then another step forward. That step forward just happened to be in a slightly different direction. Getting the extra training with my medical record system, I was able to use different skills, the creative, technical side of my brain. It was invigorating, energizing. Yes, it was doing more, but the diversification of roles at work lends a certain amount of variety that increases my job satisfaction and how I see myself as a physician. This additional role fits into my priorities, my why of helping others and getting to use my gifts and abilities. And because I had the financial margin, I could cut my clinical time from 9 to 7 sessions to accommodate the additional role. Having diversification is not only good for your finances, but it's good for you as a physician. Not only good for you, but also your colleagues, your patients, and your community. I have colleagues in my system doing work with school collaborations, case conferencing, a special clinical program for an at-risk and underserved population, state house advocacy, working alongside specialists to see some of their lower acuity consults, advancing identification of needs and social determinants of health. The list goes on, and you know people doing amazing things too. You're probably one of them. Hey there, stick with me, and don't let that imposter syndrome sneak in and make you compare yourself to others right now. You are a unique, valuable individual. You are capable, intelligent, with your own gifts and talents, perspective and viewpoint, passions and experience. Your journey doesn't need to look like mine or that amazing physician next to you. Rather, figure out what passions drive you and then go for it. You will fail and learn from it, make mistakes and take that next step forward. For me, I couldn't just stay there. content to use my tech side with the medical record optimization. I also enjoy that my patients come from all over the world. I get to speak Spanish on a daily basis, and I've learned at least a few greetings in 4 other languages. The different cultures, getting to ask about their families, the diversity of backgrounds and experiences. These have been really valuable for my growth as a physician in residency and now as an attending. Thinking about my priorities, one of them is service. One of the ways I wanted to be able to give back and care for my families was becoming a United States Citizenship and Immigration Services civil surgeon. No, I didn't go back to residency or want to shift into the operating room. This designation allows me, as a pediatrician, to sign the medical form for children who are going for their green card. It was a process and an investment, but for me, I decided it was worth it. Now, I know what you're probably saying. So where's that extra time coming from? Extra value for your patients, sure. Extra paperwork? Yeah. Because my system supports case conferencing a half day a month if physicians choose to do it, if I find that I'm able to build a steady stream of patients needing the service, I'll use that time for taking care of the paperwork and additional history taking or consultation with follow-up specialists that those patients may need. Let's pause for a moment. As we can see, doing more often involves adding these professional satisfiers. And then at the same time, it involves figuring out what efficiency gains can be made elsewhere, or where financial margin may allow you to cut back some clinical time to give you the personal margin to feel like you have some level of balance and wellness. Saying yes to one more thing professionally that is not required, especially when it's not compensated, needs to be a huge satisfier for you. It must add value to you as a physician, and ideally, it should be something where you could eventually come back to your group, your employer, and say, look at this amazing stuff I'm doing. Let's renegotiate my contract, my schedule, my administrative support. It's called leverage, and it comes from you adding value, making yourself and your services valuable. It's strategically allocating your time towards your big priorities and your big goals. So I want you to take a moment today and really look at what else you need to add to your plate. First, personally. Is it a hobby? Some activity you really enjoy to stay active but haven't made time for lately? Developing a friendship or cultivating rituals or traditions in your family? Then professionally, what do you add? Is it volunteering somewhere medically or just in the community with an organization that aligns with your priorities? Is it seeking a leadership position? Giving a talk to your local med students or a residency program? Starting a side gig? Finally, to make time for these things, where's that time coming from? Is it time I otherwise spend watching television or just not being focused with my time? Is it decreasing the number of my shifts and planning around that in my budget? Is it more carefully monitoring my wellness while running a little harder while I get a side gig off the ground with the intent of using that to cover some reductions in clinical time later? So what are you going to add personally and professionally to advance your wellness? And then where are the time and money margins coming into play in actually making this happen? Make a plan and then make it happen. Thank you so much for joining me again for another episode of the MedEdWell Podcast. I so appreciate your engagement and support. Please take a moment right now, yes, right now, and share this episode with a friend or colleague who's a physician. Then, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast or left a review, please do that as well. Just a reminder, if you're looking for a great way to use your CME funds and support your wellness and educating yourself financially, check out the White Coat Investor courses at the link in the show notes. Also, I'll be hosting a free webinar a week from the time this episode drops, Financial Wellness and Training, so get registered for that at the link in the show notes as well. Thanks for joining me here for another episode of the MedEdWell Podcast. Take that next step in your wellness. Come back for the next episode, and have a great day. And now for our important disclaimer. Dr. Ryan Stegink is a practicing general pediatrician, but the MedEdWell Podcast does not reflect the views, opinions, or belief of his employer nor his affiliated university. Additionally, the MedEdWell Podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered advice regarding financial, legal, student loan, medical, or any other specific topic. In such a case, you should seek consultation with a certified professional in that particular area. Again, thanks for joining us on the MedEdWell Podcast, and have a great day.